And we're on. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Empowerment Through Intuition Show. How do you meditate? How can you really have no thoughts? Is that possible? And learn ways to meditate and their benefits. And we do know that we're having serious problems with Facebook. So if we see that we get no comments and nobody getting on, we're going to click off of this system and jump onto the other system and hope for the best. But in the meantime, I don't know what we should do. I hate to start talking about meditation when I don't think our system's working properly. We're going to hang on for just a moment and see what happens. But we should talk a little bit about meditation just in case somebody's there. If you're there, please hit a reaction, a thumbs up, or give us a comment. Because I have, there's 2 up. So the system is working. We are having problems. So I'm going to assume if there's 2 people on here, it is reachable, and we're just going to do the show, and hopefully other people can find it. So welcome aboard. My partner,
we
Chris.
got 3.
Okay, cool. So we're doing all right. I'm Nora, intuitive teacher, best-selling author, and international speaker, and my partner, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm Chris Gurganus with Conversations with Chris. I'm a medium and a psychic, a teacher, and a healer. And today we're going to talk about all types of meditation and why should you meditate and how do you get there? And how do you get there without falling asleep like I always do?
It's not easy to get through meditation without falling asleep. One of the largest misconceptions is you will have no thoughts, none whatsoever. There were 2 different schools. You have the school that swears you can get to no thought. I've been meditating about 25 years. I come from the school of there is always at least one thing that you are intentionally focused upon, by which you then don't have any other thoughts. Should your mind move toward those other thoughts or a thought come through, you just bring it back to your main focus, which is like in Catholicism, when you say the rosary, you are literally meditating. You are not just praying, because you are thinking about each of the mysteries. So therefore, that you are focused on that as you're saying the prayer. So it's a prayer meditation. You are not blanked out. You are centrally focused on something. So that's a really powerful spiritual meditation. But there's many others.
I did a 5-day course on meditation in Arizona many years ago.
I'm so jealous.
It was many years ago. And we had 5 different masters teach the class. And literally for 12 hours a day, we did nothing but meditate. And when I tell you we were higher than a kite, we got a lunch break. I don't even know if we ate for 5 days. Well, none of us did. We were like walking around like a bunch of zombies. They would teach us a different way to meditate every day. We learned from the Native Americans their way and their beliefs. And the Native American belief that we learned under, the shaman taught us about how the spirit lifts and how you're supposed to focus on your spirit animal. And it led us through meditation to learn who our spirit animal was and how do you find that within yourself. And then after that, he would tell us, okay, now you take your spirit animal and you take them up to Mother Earth and up to the sky, and you go traveling with them in your spirit. And then you look down and you see what it is that they want to show you on Earth. And that was their type of meditation. And they would give you a vision quest type of thing with it. Then you had the Middle Eastern people, the Sanskrit, and, the monks and the Buddhists that literally is all they did was pray around the clock. And they gave us little beaded bracelets, and as all they wanted us to do was concentrate on our breathing and pull it in and hold it. And we'll teach you how to breathe properly when you're getting ready to meditate. And those of you that do yoga will be familiar with this type of belly breathing. And what it'll do is it'll clear your center chakras, and it'll clear your essence so that you can clear away all those emotions, release them, and then you can get into a meditative state. So Nora was talking about, she studied as you have a focused thought. The Buddhists would teach us to just use the bead, similar to the rosaries. You know, the Native Americans use an animal. You can use a baby, you can use a teddy bear, you can use, you know, anything that brings love or represents love to you. And I was teasing my daughter that I was going to bring my grandson tonight and he was going to be my meditative partner. And him and I would just sit and rock and we would meditate and we would be just fine. She had a problem with that, said he had a bedtime.
How inconvenient of her.
Right here. We teach him how to meditate at a couple months old. So all through the different religions, we learned how to meditate. We even learned Brian Weiss's meditation, which is called a rainbow meditation. And they did drumming meditations. I mean, we learned in so many different formats in those 5 days that if we could literally just set our minds to meditate and we'd be gone. And that's why those of you that came on Sunday could see me literally step out. And Nora was like, oh, there she goes again.
It was too funny. I'm trying to lead the class in an exercise. I'm like, yeah, well, she's gone. But I have a question for you because I'm curious. With all the different techniques you learned in Arizona, did they expect you to have no thought, or was the thought on breathing, the thought on the stones, the thought on something?
They always had a focus point.
They always had a focus point. So I know there's two schools of thought, and I'm not saying the other
really
school isn't real, right? I'm saying I've never experienced it. Chris has never trained that way. I've never trained that way. So if you're looking for an explanation of that type of meditation,
we can't help
you. My training mostly is in the Edgar Cayce way of doing meditation, but I've used the rosary for years also. But Cayce talks about the Lord's Prayer helping to clear the chakras. So Chris talks about the breathing. Cayce has you breathing in strength and wisdom through one nostril. And when you're breathing out through your mouth. And then the second go around, you're breathing in through your left nostril and out your right. And this one is wisdom. And you're doing certain stretches. But the most interesting part about his meditations is he always says, start with the Lord's Prayer, because the Lord's Prayer opens the chakras in a specific order.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, and also it's very protective, and that's what Chris and I do. And I just want to say real quick, hey guys, thank you so much for logging on. We now know we're live and actually functioning. So Laurie, thank you. Denise, great to see you again. Neil done. I always mess up your name, sweetheart. I swear to God, I don't mean it on purpose. Aaron, Melissa, if you knew how bad my grades were in school, you'd understand. Lisa, thank you guys. Elena, nice to see you, honey. And by the way, guys.
Hi, Carada. Come play with Nora.
Right. And Shauna, thank you. A lot of you guys joined us too at the event. Thank you. That was a great, easy meditation. That meditation was all about focusing on your breath, which Chris is going to talk more about. But number one, Chris and I do not go into any meditation without a set prayer. In the Edgar Cayce, we always start off with, as I approach the throne of grace, beauty, and might, I throw about myself the protections found in the thought of the Christ. I only do that a couple times a day, right? Duh, you get brain dead. But I'm asking for Christ's protection. I say the Lord's Prayer so my chakras are open. I go into whatever type meditation I'm choosing. And when I'm finished, I close with the 23rd Psalm. Because that is the psalm that Cayce recommends to close your chakras down. So, as you guys know from a lot of these shows, I'm a Cayce baby. What am I going to tell you? And I have it all in my book, so you can always go there and get it, or ask me and we'll send it.
Did you ever give them the Our Father and the meaning of the protection of the Our Father?
I don't think we ever did that on our handouts.
You should do that
Okay.
because that, even for non-Catholics,
It's
is
any
really,
Christian,
really
yeah.
strong.
And even if you're not a Christian, it's just a powerful prayer, because even if you're not a Christian, you have to admit Jesus was a powerful person and this powerful teacher. If you're going to minimize him to just a teacher, it gives you this awesome prayer. Go for it. I will do that. It's will actually tell you the order in which the chakras open. The other thing that we really want to talk about is how we feed our body, we exercise, we do things to keep our physical self strong, but to keep our spiritual self strong, we need to meditate. It's food for the soul.
When you get energy medicine done and you get Reiki done, and anytime they're working in your astral field here, they're going to see that cone Nora keeps talking about that goes above your head. And sometimes when they're working on me, they're 3 rooms away and they're telling me, can you reel it back in? I'm like, well, okay, I'll try. How you do that? Why? Because my work requires me to do that, to meditate and stay in a constant meditative state. But to do that, you also have to be able to stop it and start it. So I do know how to stop it. I do know how to start it. So when you stop and you shut down and you walk away from it, you have to be able to totally disconnect from whatever emotional feelings you were getting. So if you get overwhelmed when you're meditating, you can stop. There's nothing that says you have to keep going, because they might open up a wound. They might open up a past life. They might open up something that you asked for help with, and it comes through in a meditation and it kind of gets stuck in your throat and you're like, wow. And that was like, and it might just be a flashing thought across your head. And then later on, after you're done your meditation, it's like, and then you're calling your best friend going, I think I just got hit over the head by God. What do you think? And sometimes that happens, but it's always restorative to your spirit.
Yeah. So ask us any questions, and I'm going to put this up for a second. It's Nilda. So next time this wonderful young lady joins us and I butcher her name, I want everyone to put in Nilda. So I don't do that again.
I can always just
yeah, she can always hit me. Hi, Mary Lou. So good to see you. And Matthew, welcome back. Give us your questions if you have any specific ones about meditation, because there are so many techniques. It might be easier for us to address things that you guys have directly. Kind of like when I vacuum, right?
Well, yeah, because if you're praying before you start the vacuuming and you know that have already protected your spirit, and you're kind of not doing anything and you're just loosey-goosey in your breathing, they can come in and you're focused on the vacuum. It doesn't have to be a crystal. It doesn't have to be breathing.
That's called mindfulness meditation.
Right. And you can do it like that. And people all the time tell me I was vacuuming and the spirit showed up out of the left field. I'm like, because you were relaxing your mind and you allowed your energy to expand and expand. And then they seen it and they were like, oh, she wants us to come play with her. Because that's kind of what you're doing. You're expanding your consciousness. You're expanding your sphere of energy, and you're telling them it's okay to come join me. It's okay for me to receive messages. The message board's open.
The other thing with mindfulness meditation, I mean, you could be gardening. You could even be doing your dishes. You can be brushing your teeth. The point of mindfulness is you don't just start thinking of stuff. You're not vacuuming and having a conversation in your head about how that telephone conversation went a few minutes ago and how you would like it to have gone. And when you see that person, that's not mindfulness. Mindfulness is you could feel how much pressure it's taking your body to move the vacuum back and forth. You notice the cord and you feel the cord as you're pulling it away, and you're noticing how much your body has to tilt. You are completely focused on exactly what you're doing now. Brushing your teeth mindfully is, you're feeling the brushing, you're feeling the pressure, you're just acknowledging it and noticing it. You're not judging it. It's really interesting to mindfully eat. Food tastes absolutely delicious if you don't eat it like I do. You know, mindfulness is an awesome exercise, and this stuff does not just spiritually feed us and open us up. It gives our brains a break. We don't stop. We don't even stop when we're dreaming. It's da 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 da. Everything's always going, going, going. When you use a meditation, you're just giving your brain a small break. And that break rewards you with energy. It rewards you with creativity. Your brain doesn't need a huge break. A couple minutes is all it needs. When we go into meditation, sometimes, without a doubt, I know for me and I know for Chris, we'll get lost, not come back for an hour and a half, and it'd be like 5 minutes. But that's not our normal life. That's not our normal life, because she's got children running around, and I have business things I'm handling. We got things that have to get done. My husband would appreciate dinner. So I will often just stop and say, okay, for 5 minutes, I'm going to just get into a meditative state, give my mind a break, give it a refresher. It allows for creativity. It feeds my spirit. It gives me energy. And somebody said they play music. I saw it run by.
Aaron uses music.
Aaron, yeah, and that's fine. But how are you using the music? In a relaxed state, are you judging the music? Oh, that's pretty. It's making me carry away. That's not meditating. You're listening to yourself critique the music. But if you're just hearing the music and feeling the music move through you, and if your vibrations, right, if the thought comes, you just kind of dismiss it and allow it just move through you. That's a great way to use it. So definitely.
Well, for those of you that keep finding yourself pulling out and judging or second guessing or having a whole nother conversation, I ask the angels, just block it and show me how to truly meditate. And if you ask them to do that, they will. And you'll find it's so relaxing when you come back that they're using it in heart patients in hospitals all around the country and have been using it for
quite
the last
some time.
10 years.
Yeah, meditation is actually
and
part
they've
of
been
healing.
using little meditation discs that they've been handing out in heart clinics.
Yeah.
And it really brings the stress level down, and it allows you to just focus. And when you come out of a really good meditation, you're just like, you feel like $100 again.
Right. I want to get to Shauna's question, but Chris made me think of something. Guided meditations are golden. You get a good guided meditation, guys, and you're in. You don't need to really know what to do. Just listen to the guide. Now, flip side of a guided meditation. If the person who created the meditation was not in a good place, they were having an argument that day, and they're hired to just speak and say this nice meditation, that energy pattern will be read, and you're picking that up unconsciously. So there are bad parts of guided meditations. You don't necessarily know the energy source where the person was coming from. But that's how I started. That's how I really learned in the beginning. I mean, having that really propels you forward, and then you can start doing it yourself. You don't need them.
Try, for all of you that have electronic iPads, phones, whatever, that have some kind of component, try Dr. Brian Weiss. He's a PhD. He has a meditation book, and it's, when I tell you, it's about 4 inches by 4 inches, and it might be 30 pages, if that. And it comes with a free audio download. It used to have a CD in the back. And it's like $10. And it's wonderful to hear he does a version of the rainbow meditation, the rainbow water meditation that I was going to teach you. And I learned that in my 5-day meditation. And it is so powerful when you breathe in those colors and you hold them through your system. and then breathe them out until you come back with that initial color you started with. You're so light and airy, and usually I was taught to find something that I associate peace with, whether it's running water or it's lying on a beach or sitting in the woods or wherever. Put your body there in your meditation and then run that meditation. And I always put myself in a babbling brook and I just float and I let all the emotions
I love that. I love doing that.
flush through me and I just watch it all go downhill and I'm like, bye, all that stress.
Yeah.
All that yuck. Bye-bye. And when you get up 15 minutes later, you feel like a whole new person. The stress is gone, the muscle tension's gone, all the muscle memories can be changed in that quick of a time period.
Within minutes. A really awesome, absolutely phenomenal, and I trust the way it was recorded. And I don't even know if you can still find it. It's Wayne Dyer, Moving into the Gap. And I think it was $10 because it's really old. He uses the first 10 words of the Lord's Prayer. And he explains how you move into the space between the words. So in your mind, you're saying our Father. So you're focusing on our Father. And you see the words in your mind. And then you literally move forward in your mind to the gap between the two words. And that's amazing. Cool. It's peaceful. I only stopped using it because he moved on too fast to the next word. After so much time, it was like, no, baby, I want to lay here a little bit longer. It was still quiet. I still was relaxed. You moved too soon. So then I had to start doing it for myself. But great. Both of those CDs, if you guys can find them, they're kind of old. But I'm sure Amazon has them. Or maybe even on YouTube, because everybody downloads everything to YouTube. We download our shows to YouTube in case you didn't know.
And you could share.
Right, little hearts. Okay, so I really want to, Shauna has an awesome, important question. What if someone makes contact with you during meditation? How do you know they are good contact? Well, you should have come up to South Philly, honey, when we did the show. No. Teasing you, baby. So how do you know it's a good contact? You don't if you don't understand the intuitive footprint for anger, or if you don't understand your own signs and symbols. Therefore, you don't go into meditation without a prayer of protection.
And St. Michael.
Call on angels that you know, St. Michael specifically. Do not just say, oh, all the God's angels. Demons are God's angels. They're just the fallen angels.
Right.
So you have to watch your language. Call in, say the Lord's Prayer, ask for protection. And then when you're ready to rise, ready to move your spirit up and out, you tell your spirit, or you tell your spirit, arise and meet thy maker. Arise and meet thy maker, and step into that quiet space. You're making it clear you are there to meet your maker, your higher self, not anybody else. And sometimes you have to wait in the waiting room. He's not always there. He's always there, but he's not always there for you. And it's a lesson in waiting patiently. Sometimes we'll go into a meditative state. It doesn't mean we're going to come out with an answer or every time. But when we come out every time, we do feel a sense of refreshment. We do feel a sense of relaxation. And we do have a sense of God's there, but not necessarily every single second. For me, I need to wait my turn. It sounds weird, but it's like a waiting room.
I'm kind of glad if I don't see the boss. Personally,
right? I don't have to jump up right away.
Sometimes I'm thinking, it's not such a good thing because I'm going to get hammered about something I did wrong. I'll be like, I really tried. Did I mess that one up too? Okay. Can I just take an IOU on the mercy thing? So you have to really be honest with yourself about what you're doing the meditation for. If you're going to meet God or you want something revealed to you, just ask when you go to meet your maker for what you want revealed. because you don't need God necessarily. God might send somebody else to say, okay, go explain to her because I already sent the message 5 times. She's not getting it. And sometimes I'm just that stupid. And I say to him, God, I don't know what the block is. I just can't get this. Can you put it in neon? Can you put it in a billboard? Like, I don't know. Put it on one of those billboards that, like, you got to be a retard to miss. I'm like, because I'm just not getting it. And I know I keep seeing the same pattern sometimes. And then I go into meditation. I'm like, oh my God, that's what you're trying to say? Oh, okay. I got you now. Because you're relaxed.
You're relaxed. And you're giving your brain the break that it needs. So Maria, thanks for sharing with us, Maria, and my mouse isn't working, so bear with me because I want to bring up what you said. She took an MBSR 8-week course a few years back, very helpful, based on Jean Kabat-Zinn techniques. Kabat-Zinn's. Okay, just because I went to college doesn't mean I can read names, all right? So I wanted to put that up there. She found it very helpful. And somebody else might we're all sharing. This is our community of friends and new friends, old friends, and we teach each other. So thank you so much for sharing that. But she also says that she has a tough part is to keep up a routine on a regular basis. Sure it is. How many of us work out on a regular basis? Come on. We'd like to say we do, but we don't.
Oh, sure. I walked up the stairs and down the stairs.
Right? How many of us eat properly on a regular basis?
You can tell I don't.
The bottom line is you do the best you can, and the more you do it, the more you want to do it. When I left my job in order to do this full time, I made a commitment to meditate 3 times a day, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Have I successfully kept that meditation 3 times a day? No. Today I managed to do it 2 times. Yeah, I did do this morning 2 times. Yesterday, I think I got 1 in. It doesn't, but I make the commitment and I do the best I can. It's really, don't judge yourself. Just jump in there and have fun.
The point is to release the anxiety around it, not to cause more anxiety. If you didn't get to it that day, you didn't get to it. Then you'll find a few minutes somewhere along the line in the next day. And even if you just make a few minutes here and there, even if it's right before bed or right after you get up, or, wherever, whenever.
One of the most powerful times to meditate and the most difficult time to meditate is 5 minutes before you go to bed, 5 minutes before you fall asleep. Try not to fall asleep. That's the problem because you get so relaxed. But that is one of the most powerful times because in that meditation, you're rising up, you're listening and receiving, and now you're going to go to sleep with that message so that your dreams and your mind can process it. It is truly an awesome time.
And if you want to remove a block or you want to change a habit, that's the best time to do it because it gives your body the whole 8 hours to process it. And if you need a little more help, they can come in and they can help you. Like straighten out whatever difficulties or misunderstandings you had based on your meditation.
Okay, so we need a few shares. Share the show.
Send my heart.
And lots of hearts. We have no idea what's going on with Facebook and our show. We are having a lot of technical difficulties recently, these last couple weeks. Thanks for being patient. You guys are like so awesome and that you hang out with us anyway. Laura, hi, sweetie. I love your new picture, by the way. You look stunning. Renee, thanks for coming out to the show and joining us. Does anyone have any other questions? Let's see. Love that you and Nora are so real. Thank you, babe. We are. We are real. See, bitch, we're real. All right, Shauna has a great question. What about people who go into meditation and use it for channeling? How do we know that the people they are channeling are who they say they are? I'll be happy to answer that, but do you want to throw something in?
Well, you have to be careful with channeling because, again, anytime you open that portal, you don't know what you're going to get. And if you're not advanced in protection and knowing whether you're getting a good entity or a bad entity, or knowing how to tell the difference, you could get duped. And they could look like an angel of light, and they could give you really good information in the beginning, and then turn around and, before you know it, pull you away into a darker, uglier place. So you got to be really careful with channeling, and make sure you're really grounded and you really understand what you're going into the meditation for. And that's why we said we always want to have a purpose, and we want to have a set of protection, and we're going into it knowing what we're looking for.
And I think I think Sean is also asking in reference to somebody else channeling. I don't think you need to go to a channeler. It's your choice. Oh my gosh, I know a woman who's just amazing. I trust her channeling. I know her personally. I have sat and had lunch with her more than once. She's written a book. She's a wonderful, kind person, and I trust her channeling. I've been there, I've watched it, and it's very useful. Do I trust some of the channelers I see that get advertised about? No, I don't know them. I don't have the opportunity to be in their presence so that I can sense if it's safe or not. Again, I know the intuitive footprint for me for anger. So
Right.
if a channeler is in front of me and I get a footprint, my intuitive footprint for anger, I'm out of there. So it is important to understand how to read that language of intuitive footprints, the language of that unspoken physical not unspoken, but that non-physical contact that actually physically touches you but carries a message, because that message will tell you if this is somebody you can trust or not trust. But with that said, Shauna, your gut instinct, if it says even for half a moment, get out of there. Just get out of there. You don't need it. It's not important enough. Oh, David, how are you, baby? Past is messing with me. How do we clear these blockages? Well, how would you clear the blockages with meditation would be to just surrender it.
Right.
So focus on.
So when you're going into the meditation, you do the breathing, you do the prayer, and you set the intent that whatever these blockages are, you want to ask the Creator, God Himself, to lift them from your shoulders, and you're offering them up to them. And you don't know what they are. You only know the circumstances they bring about. And if you do it right before bed, like Nora was saying, that's the best process time.
So meditation, it's like you're not just going into a quiet state and focusing on one thing. You are starting every meditation with a prayer. You are lifting up, you are a prayer of protection, a prayer of petition. You can say, this is what I'm looking for answers in. Please assist me, or please clear me of these things. And then you go into that meditative state and you ask your spirit to rise and be present in God's presence to receive what it is you need, focusing on what works for you. Most of the time when I do my meditations, I focus on the word Jesus, because that's what works for me. But I want to jump a little bit back, if I may. This is a very old book. It's called Meditation, Gateway to Light. It's one of the people who was part of the original In Search of God group, based on Edgar Cayce readings. And for those who don't know about the In Search of God group, maybe we'll make that another show, because powerful stuff. So she wrote what Cayce said in the reading. We must be very careful to enter worthily into meditation, lest we stray unaware to a level that could be hostile to us. There are many unfriendly places over on the other side of life, as there are here on our own plane of consciousness. So you want that prayer protection, especially if you're going into clear blocks. And Shauna, no matter what, you want that protection. And then,
well, David, if you're also having the same issue reoccur, where you're getting to the doorway and then the door slams shut and you don't get any further. You want to find out why that keeps happening, and that's maybe be something in the meditation. You can open the door and look through it, because you can ask them why it keeps happening. And it's almost like a guided questioning meditation, but you ask for God and you ask for the Holy Spirit to come in and show you the reason, because it'll show you something that only you might understand. That to us, it wouldn't make any difference if we saw it.
I'm going to jump up to what Christina asked, because I like this question. Is it true that fasting helps the meditation more effectively? I heard that somewhere. I believe that fasting, you don't have to fast per se, but you definitely do not want a heavy meal. You want to be light because you don't want your body to be distracted. You don't want your body causing a distraction. By being full, you get sleepy. Your body wants to shut down. You start feeling the digestion and everything. So if you are a light meal or have fasted. Now, if you fast, you might be hungry, and now your attention keeps going to hunger, no good. So fasting can be positive, but it also can be negative.
A lot of the ancients believed, and I know in a lot of our 5-day meditation, we ate like little fruit and grain bars. We had water, we had fresh fruits and vegetables, but for the most part, we were having very, very light meals. And why were we? Because they didn't want the blood going from our head to our stomachs to worry about processing that food, and to worry about, if we're going to have to get up and leave the room or whatever, or leave the rock, because sometimes we were just sitting on a rock. We didn't even have a chair. We had a mat and a rock. It was very primitive, let's put it that way. And you didn't care because you were mentally on a whole different level. And when you fast, it brings you at a higher vibration automatically, but you have to be careful and you have to be cognizant of your health and how long you're going to be out in that altered state. Because as you could see on Sunday, I ate one chocolate chip cookie. I'm diabetic, so I shouldn't even eat one. But I know that when I'm out in that altered state for any period of time, that my body still needs sugar. And if I didn't eat a full meal, I have to provide it something or I'm going to crash. So everybody has to sit down and say what their medical needs are, how long they're going to try and do this for, and what your focus is. Because even if it seems like a simple focus, you have no idea. It could be 3 hours and you come back and you're like, wow, I thought that was like 20 minutes. Like right. Nora and I've done it.
Sometimes you just don't realize how the time will fly on you. Albert, nice to see you back. And we've been having a lot of computer problems, and I apologize. It's not you. It's Facebook per the company we use. We have a company, which is why we're able to flash up questions and are able to tell you our websites and the name of the show. And they're telling us that Facebook is having a lot of issues. So it's not you guys, and it's not really us. It's just what's happening. Carla says that she missed a few minutes and wanted to know what was the difference between praying and meditating. To me, that's an easy one. Praying, you're talking to God. Meditating, you're listening to God. Got that? Praying, you're talking. Meditating, you're listening. Because the conversation with God does require talking. So you do go into it with prayer. You do go into it holding intentions you wish to clear. And then you listen. I want to, if I can too, just jump back to you, David, if you're still there. There are certain issues that I struggle with. And when I go into meditation, the first thing I do is I envision God like sending I always have that big funnel of energy coming down from God, love, light filling me up. But I envision and I feel. I don't just think it's there. I know it's there. I feel it. Powerful light coming, like blasting through, straight down, right through my spine, and just blowing everything out. Just all the crap that I'm dealing with. Just boom, all the anger, all the issues. And it's like Thank you. I need to be made worthy because I can't do it on my own. Clear this crap out of my way. I can't do it. I'm just human. I need your divine help. Get it out of the way so I can be with you in peace and benefit from my quiet time with you. That is often, I do that often. I need to
And
do it
I do
often.
something similar. I used to explain to Nora's. If you ever go to Boston and you see the old tanks on the toilets that are up top and you had to pull the chain, and I would just pretend like I'm standing under one of those and I'm pulling the chain, and all this white light from God's hand just came through and gave me a big shower, and it just went through,
I
and
never
everything
liked
just
her analogy.
disappeared.
Toilets.
Well, because you're getting rid of all the crap. That's the way I look at it. Nora has a prettier way of looking at it. I'm just dumping.
Okay, let's see what else is going on. How do we know it's a good source? Again, I use the intuitive footprint. I use my gut instincts. I use my familiarity with the energy that's present when it is God's energy, when it's the Holy Spirit, our
And you
Lord.
can also
I'm
say
altered.
a really quick prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when you start to pray, they're usually gone if they're not in the light and they're in a bad source. They can't stand to hear a prayer from the heart or Jesus' name brought up. They
They
usually
run.
can't.
They run. So if you say it with reverence, you move them.
Hold on, what's
So
David
now
say?
does work by coming in morning. Okay, I'm not sure. Does not work. I'm not sure what David's referring to. Does not, I'm guessing does not work. Sold saw now does work by coming in morning. Ugh. Yes, blow it up. Thank you. Oh, okay. I guess you're just referring to blowing up all the junk in your life.
Yeah.
Just knocking it right out of there. It does help, and it is powerful when you go into prayer. When you first go into the meditation, you say the prayer, clear out everything, turn it over. You always hear, turn it over to God, turn it over to God. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm turning it over. I'm admitting I can't do this. I need you to clear this away. Clear it away for me, blow it out, get it out of my way so I can be present with you.
And even if you're not really sure what it is, if it's a situation, if it's a feeling, and I ask them to take the roots of the problem, the source of the problem, out of the heart, body, mind, soul, and spirit, and remove it as a toxin. Just take it all. Don't need it. Thank you. Goodbye.
And what Chris and I do often when we work together in prayer and we meditate together, we'll meditate the lines, a person's family lines.
Well, that takes a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. It's a highly energetic work, but we'll go into a meditative state and be present to a person's lineage, not just their lifetimes, but their whole family, their whole soul's family. And we watch and we focus on bringing that hardcore, strong energy right through the line into the past and also into the future. So you can use meditation to clear out things before they happen, is basically
And
what
to
we're
heal,
saying.
you can send love and healing.
And that's what healing is, yeah.
Back to the beginning of time and forward to the end of time. And that's how we word it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you'll get a deja vu kind of feeling and you'll see it later on. Like we've had instances like we went on a trip and we would pray all the way down the trip, and on the way back we'd be like, hey, this feels a little bit different. What do you think? And we know, like, we got a feeling, yeah, we've been here before, but definitely didn't feel like this before. You know?
So basically what we're saying about, we have 20 minutes, so we definitely want to talk about the breathing technique. Don't get crazy, okay? Chris is going to explain the deep breathing type of technique that really brings it into your belly, because she understands it well and uses it. And I'm going to give you a totally different breathing one, because that's why we work together so well. We always have two different things to share. So, madam.
Okay, everybody just relax. Put your hands on your side, facing up towards the ceiling, because every time you put your feet flat and your hands up, you're in a receiving position. Okay, take a couple normal breaths and just relax. And now take a really deep breath and breathe it all the way in from your belly. Feel it come from all the way in your groin and hold it for the space of 10 seconds. And then blow it out for 10. And do it again. You do that 3 times and feel the difference you feel in your body and in your mind. Everything feels calmer. Everything feels clearer. Now you're ready to breathe in the colors. If you want to do the rainbow meditation, you breathe in one color at a time. You hold it. You see the scrubbing bubbles go through your body in that color. And then at the end of 10 seconds, you breathe it out. And you get rid of all the toxins and all the yuckies. And then you breathe it in again. Hold it for 10 seconds. And then you breathe it out. And it should come out the same color on the second time as it went in. If it didn't, you get to keep doing that color because you're stuck there. It might be gray. It might come out black the first time. It depends how much you have stuck. And let the scrubbing bubbles go all through your body. And that's the way I do it. And you do it from white to golden light to yellow to orange to green to blue to red to pink. And then you go back to a golden color. And then you close it back up.
Okay. I use a slightly different breathing technique. Those who are at the show get to experience it. I basically this was taught to me by Henry Reed. You do nothing to your breathing. No control whatsoever. You don't alter it. You don't take a deep breath. You don't, and it's actually hard because as soon as you bring your attention to your breathing, all you're doing is bringing your attention to your breathing. You want to take a deep breath. But the point is to just breathe naturally and notice that when you exhale, you don't have to do anything. It's just a letting go. And so the breathing technique I use actually begins the meditation process because you're focusing on letting go, the letting go that happens automatically without any help from you. And that letting go, you then allow it to be a relaxation. So you're breathing normally, the breath comes in, and you're just relaxing without intentionally trying to relax. You just notice your body relaxes naturally, and the breath is going out. And then you can accept the breath coming in on its own, because we're not making the breath come to us. It's the breath of life. It's the Holy Spirit breathes you. Life breathes us. We don't breathe. If you just relax and notice, all of a sudden, there's a breath there coming in, and then it goes out. So it's an opportunity to appreciate and be gracious for life and to relax. And both techniques work phenomenally well. From the one that I'm talking about, you would then move into whatever meditation process you want. There's countless ways, guys. The guided meditations we recommended, Weiss, right?
Yeah, Dr. Brian Weiss.
Dr.
He's a
Brian
PhD.
Weiss, or Wayne Dyer's Getting It Within the Gap, or something like that. They're both great ones. So, any other questions? Because you guys are such great listeners, but nobody's asking us too many questions. We're a community here, people. We're supposed to be jumping in and chit-chatting with each other. Come on, I feel like my friends abandoned me. You're all just listening. I love it. I mean,
They're
it's
meditating,
wonderful.
Nora.
They're meditating. Chris put you to sleep with those colors. You're all doing the colors.
I'm out there with them.
Yeah. Well, you know what we could do if you want is for the last 5 minutes, just do a closing meditation. Do you want to?
Sure.
Well, let's get a couple yeses if you guys would like us to just close this one with, I got to laugh out loud. Okay. I don't know if
They
that's
weren't
yes or
doing
no.
it already. Telling you, they're out over the rainbow with me.
Because I would like to try Chris's color one if you guys would like us to do that for the last few minutes, and then we would just sign off. Give me a couple yeses, not just reactions because we can't see the reactions. All right, we got
Nilda wants to play with me.
Nilda. See, I said it right for a change. Nope, I've been meditating since was 12. Love it. Sure. Okay, we got quite a few yeses, so we're just gonna go for it. Are you okay with leading it?
Oh, sure.
All right. So we're going to do this, and then we're just going to thank you all and say goodnight.
Yeah, because I'll be ready to take a nap by that point.
No, it rejuvenates you. Okay, go ahead, Chris. You
All
got
right.
10 minutes.
Deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath in from your belly. Hold it for 10 seconds. Exhale for 10 seconds. A little yawn. Inhale again. Exhale for 10. Everybody's ready. We're going to start with the color of white light. We're going to see God's hand resting above our head, and He's going to take our bubble, which is our aura, and He's going to fill it with white, bright, bright, bright white light. The whitest light you can see when you look at the bright sun. You're going to breathe it in deep, and you're going to hold it. See the scrubbing bubbles go through your system and clear out all the negativity. Hold it, hold it, hold it, release. All the way out to the count of 10. Okay, we're going to bring in the white light again. Blow it out to the count of 10. Look in your mind's eye at what color is blowing out. A little bit gray is the overall color I'm getting. So we're going to do white light again. Breathe in. Big white light breath all the way to your groin. Hold it to the count of 10. Blow it out to the count of 10. Don't be afraid to yawn. That's just your body saying, I need more oxygen. The next color we're going to ask to come in is a champagne color. This is the color of the Holy Spirit. Deep breath in. Hold it to the count of 10. Blow it out to the count of 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We're going to do the champagne color in again. We're going to see the scrubbing bubbles go do their work. And just flush all the negativity out through our feet and out through our breath. Deep breath in. Hold it to the count of 10. Blow it out to the count of 10. Little tingy there. So you could normally do it again, but we're going to move on for the sake of time. We're going to move on to orange, which is the color of joy. I'm going to think of bright tangerine orange, pull it in. See all the little scrubbing bubble oranges go through your system. Smell the oranges. Blow out to the count of 10. Okay, one more orange in. See how it looked a little brown for me this time, so later on today I'll go back and do some more orange. Now we're going to switch to yellow. Lemon yellow, beautiful lemon yellow. We're going to pull it in. All the way down deep. See the scrubbing bubbles get loose. At the count of 10, release to the count of 10. Yellow in one more time. And release yellow. In comes purple. Purple scrubbing bubbles go everywhere. Hold to the count of 10. Release. 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in the bright purple. Hold it to the count of 10. Blow out. Count of 10. Next color is blue. Pull in the soothing waters of blue. Hold it. Use the scrubbing bubbles to release all the negativity associated with blue. Count of 10, release. One more blue. Nice bright blue in. Blow out. Notice the color might be a little off. You'll think I'll come back and do some more blue. Next color in will be bright green. Hold it to the count of 10. Blow it out. Do bright green again. Hold it till 10 and blow it out to 10. And we're going to close it with a nice, beautiful white. The Holy Spirit color and God. We're going to mix golden and white together. Kind of make like a Tootsie Roll. Pull in the two colors. Feel them clearing you, scrubbing you clean. Heart, body, mind, soul, and spirit. Hold it to the count of 10 and blow it out. One more time. Release all the toxins from your system. Thank the universe for the cleanup job and come back into your body. Gently allow yourself to feel it. Close your aura and your space. Do you feel lighter? I lost 10 pounds.
Feel free to put in comments how you felt, what you felt on different colors, even after we end the program. Of course, I would love us to learn from each other. But I will say the yellow, just like, I just felt so invigorated. What does yellow represent?
Conscious thought.
So I was consciously thinking. Now, and notice how you were able to just follow Chris. That's a meditation because you're listening and following. You weren't thinking about your laundry. You weren't thinking about, oh, the kids need to get to bed. I have to get off of Facebook. Whatever, tomorrow's work. You were following along. That's meditating. It is nothing magical. It is being focused on one thing.
Mm-hmm. Just focus yourself. You can focus on your own breathing. You can focus on like a background video thing, that a prayer. We have a prayer CD. Sometimes we play all kinds of things.
All right, guys, we love it. Share, put in there what was going on. I got some comments. I'd love you all to talk with each other. We are a community of friends here. It's not all about just Chris and I. We learn from each other. So let's make sure
we love your questions.
We do, and we do our best to get back to any questions that do come up. We'll see you next week. We haven't decided on a topic yet, so feel free to send it through on this feed. You know, if something pops up in your mind, that would be a good idea. Otherwise, we'll meditate on it and come up with something for next week. Good night, everyone. God bless you, and thank you for honoring us with your time.
Thank you.